All right, Coach, y'all were ranked number 2 in the LSC men's preseason poll. I know y'all try and block that out, but there's a chip on y'all's shoulder this season. How does that fuel y'all's play going into the start of the season this week?
I think if you came in our locker room, everybody, new guys, returners, they remember the feeling last year. We finished second in the league. We finished runner-up at the buzzer in the tournament. And that's a little bit of a bitter feeling in our mouth at times because we had a very good season last year, but it wasn't quite good enough. And so, being picked second, it's a lot better than a year ago. But again, those preseason polls don't really mean much. For us, our expectations are about as high as they've been. Last year was a lot of unknowns. This year it feels a little bit more comfort going into this thing with some guys that you've been in the foxhole with. And so I'm excited about that going into this season. Having two all conference guards back, we're really excited about that. That's a position where experience is just invaluable at times, and so I'm really excited about having KK Godwin and Willie God back for another year because they really took this team far last year as leaders.
First up against number 15 ranked Fort Lewis. Y'all are starting the season strong with immediate tough competition. How does games like this help the team early on in the season?
I think we're playing the best conference in the country, so for us playing really good opponents in the non-conference is very important to get us ready for league play. I think if you look at this conference over the course of the last 10 years, the teams that are at the top of this league have the chance to advance the most in postseason. So if we can play teams like Fort Lewis, later we'll play Southern Arkansas, who was in the NCAA tournament a year ago. We'll play West Liberty, who played for the national championship a year ago. Playing competition like that just gets us ready for what I feel like is the best conference in America for Division II basketball.
And then my last question, y'all then have that turnaround game against New Mexico Highlands. What are you wanting to see from your team in these first 2 contests from what y'all have been working on this season so far?
Biggest thing is going to be compete. I think opening season, you can look all across the country. November basketball is ugly basketball, but it's the teams that compete the hardest and have the most effort that have the best chances to win. Everybody's going to have misexecution early in the year, but it's the teams that play the hardest and make the least amount of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of mistakes, but can we minimize those enough to put ourselves in position to win big games? I love the fact that we have experience this year as opposed to a year ago. Playing in games like this, I think we're a little bit more ready going into opening season this year than we were a year ago. And you're talking a whole new team, whole new staff a year ago. We got our entire staff back. We got half the team back from a year ago, 8 returners on this. So, I feel a little bit more prepared going into opening weekend, but that doesn't change the fact that we're playing a really good 2 opponents to open the season this year.
All right, Coach, and I know you don't like to focus on what happened last year, but of course now that you got 2 full off seasons under your belt going into year 2 after having such a successful year last year with one of the best finishes in Angelo State's basketball history, what are your expectations for your team headed into this season as opposed to where y'all were at the end of last year?
Mine are never going to change. It's just to get better every single day. We try to maximize every day, and that's practice, that's games, that's day offs. Are we taking care of our bodies? Are we eating right? Are we drinking the right fluids? Are we doing things necessary to get ourselves in position to be better the next day? And so for us, it's always been maximize the day. I'm never going to change that. Today we're going to try to get better in practice, and if we can do that as we lead up to the game, then we're going to put ourselves in position, hopefully, to find success, but it's not guaranteed. So it's control we can control, and right now it's control today. So that's what my expectations will always be for our teams.
And I know you said that you're lucky to have so many guys back and you feel like you have a little bit more experience this year, but how critical will be having two of the best guards in the conference back on the floor throughout the year, like especially to start the year for these younger guys?
I think we got 2 of the best guards in the country back. It's not just the conference. Kevon Godwin proved to be one of the nation's leading scorers a year ago. Him and Willie Guy were 1 and 2 in the league in 3-point percentage a year ago. Willie was at 48% from 3. KK was at 44%. So I feel like they're 2 of the best in the country. Really excited to have them back. Their experience helping our new guys catch up and understand how good Division II is, how good this conference is. you just can't put it on a board and measure it. You know, they've done an unbelievable job this preseason helping getting these guys ready mentally, not just the physical part of it. And I think having two guys back like that, it alleviates some stress that coaches have. I can tell you that for sure, because I got a lot of anxiety going into the opening weekend right now, because you've just been waiting to get back. You know, we had such a fun year last year. I think we shocked everybody, including ourselves at times a year ago. But having a little bit of known back, having some guys that's been there, done that back, it kind of relieves a little bit of stress, but also there's been a build up to get back on the floor and see what we can do with this new group. So I'm really excited about where we're at, but anxious to get on the floor for sure.
All right, Coach, and final question for me. We talk about the guys who are coming back, but who's just one or two new faces that we should be excited to, that you're excited and that we should be excited to watch this year?
You know, we brought in 8 new guys, and we're counting on all 8 of them. I can tell you that for sure. We brought in experienced players because we needed some help right away in some positions. But I think, our 2 big guys, Trey Farr and DJ Basie, 169, 1611, they're going to be a force inside this year. Trey can really score it inside in multiple ways. He was 18 a game in the RMAC conference a year ago. He's first team all-league. And then DJ Basie, who's 6'11", I think he'll be one of the best shot blockers and rebounders in the league this year. And, he's got experience at Division II as well. He started at UCO, University of Central Oklahoma. He's seen Division II. He knows what it's about. He played in the Sun Belt a year ago at Coastal Carolina, so he's seen some high-level basketball, and I just think he's a difference maker on the defensive end. Last year we were fortunate to have someone like Steve Webb, who was Defensive Player of the Year in the league. We graduated him, and it's, hey, what are you going to do when you lose him? I've gotten that question asked a lot. Well, let's go get a DJ Basie, because I think he's going to help us a lot at the rim this year. He's going to be a lot different than Steve, but I still think he's going to anchor our defense this year as Steve did a year ago for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.